I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with an order that I placed on the Estee Lauder website. They came out with some products for the Lunar New Year collection, and it has been a while since I bought an Estee Lauder product, but this one I just felt the need to have because the packaging is beautiful. So I picked up the Be the Light limited edition Pure Color Envy Cheek Palette. There are 3 blushes in here. They're calling them Pure Color Envy Sculpting Blushes. And there is a total of 0.63 ounces of product, or 18 grams, which is quite a bit of product that you're getting. And this guy here is made in the USA. So here is the box packaging that it comes in right there. And then the actual packaging is so beautiful. It's a hard plastic packaging with kind of like a bit of a 3D looking front there. It reminds me of like rock inlaid in jewelry with this geometric tiger. I mean, it's not, it's a plastic packaging, but it looks really 3D to me, and it's just beautiful. I love the packaging on this. And then there is a mirror in there, and there is embossing in the 3 shades. The center shade has a tiger embossing. I've kind of ruined them a little bit. Mine were actually puffed out when I got it. And I think that has to do because it was really, really cold outside and it was sitting on my porch. And I don't know how long it was sitting there, but my shades kind of were like rised out. And luckily enough, I was able to push them back in safely without cracking any of them. But I've got a mixture of these 2 shades on my cheek today. I think this center shade would be a really pretty kind of light looking highlight on a deeper skin tone, but for me, it's definitely a blush shade. And yeah, I've got these 2 shades mixed on my cheeks today for a blush, and they're very, very pretty shades. So these 2 are kind of like satin mattes, and this one's a shimmer, but very, very fine type of a shimmer. So this one is 140 Alluring Rose. This one is Modern Mercury, and then you've got 140 Alluring Rose. And I think Modern Mercury was a big jelly highlighter that they did some years back. Oh, I kind of ruined the little tiger. Oh, this packaging, you guys, is so, so pretty. But they're all quite rosy shades, and that center shade is kind of like a rose gold. It's been such a long time since I purchased anything from Estee Lauder. But I really like this. It's very pretty. It's a rosy palette, and this packaging, again, I think it's one of my favorites from all the stuff that's come out from the Lunar New Year. I just think this is stunning. So that there is the Estee Lauder Be the Light limited edition Pure Color Envy Cheek Palette, and I got it off the Estee Lauder website. And then I placed an order on the Sephora website because I was influenced by Michelle Wong here on YouTube. When I watched one of her videos, she had hauled 2 of these products that I purchased off Sephora, and this first one is the Clinique Cheek Pop Highlighter in Gold Celebration Pop. This is another Lunar New Year product. So the box packaging comes like this, and there's 0.1 ounces or 3 grams of product in here, and these little guys here are made in Italy, of course, because it's a baked gelée product. And I haven't used this. I bought the one from last year as well, and I didn't use that one either because the embossing is so pretty. And I do love a baked gelée. I love the Clinique baked gelée blushes. They're some of my favorite blushes, but I can't bring myself to ruin the tiger. And this one here, which I thought was super cool, I loved that they put the 2022 embossed into the little lion, which makes it even harder to want to use it. But this is the Cheek Pop Highlighter in Gold Celebration. I'm trying to think. Mine kind of came with a little ding on the top there. So I'm going to carefully, because I'm petty like that apparently, I'm going to carefully swatch the very top so you guys can see what Gold Celebration looks like. It's a very, very pretty baked gelée highlighter. Just so you can see it right there. And so this type of shade, it reminds me kind of like the Amrezy highlighter, which is one that I can really use a lot in the summertime. Because it is a little bit deeper than something that I would wear in the wintertime for a lift on the cheekbones. So that is what it looks like. And then you got the little tiger and the 2022. I just thought it was the cutest packaging, and it's got a nice acrylic case on there. So that's the Clinique Cheek Pop Highlighter in Gold Celebration Pop for the Lunar New Year. I also saw Michelle talk about the Danessa Myricks Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette. So I got the lighter of the 2 that are available, and this one is called Do It Flirty. And this is what the box packaging looks like right here. There is a total of 0.23 ounces in each shade. So you have a total of 0.92 ounces of product. You are getting a massive amount of product in here. And then this guy here is made in China. So again, this is the box packaging. I got the one called Do It Flirty. And then the actual packaging is a lighter kind of acrylic. It doesn't feel super substantial in my opinion. It feels really light. Like the Clinique one's like a thicker, heavier acrylic. This one's a quite light acrylic. And then here are your 4 shades. So you've got Coquette, Sweet Cheeks, XOXO, and Tease. And I wore this on my cheeks twice so far, and both times right where I put my blush, I got little bumps there, like mini blemishes, if you will. So I'm really sad about that for starters, because I've been kind of getting into the cream cheek blush thing. And this formulation is closer to like a lipstick formulation for me than it is a cream blush. Like I was comparing it next to the Patrick Ta Major Headlines blush palette, the creams in there. And these are just like, they're more tacky and they're thicker. So I applied them the same way that I did the Patrick Ta blushes. And it just took a little extra effort to kind of blend them on the cheeks. Granted, I did use them over a set foundation, and so because of that extra tact, it was a little bit more difficult to kind of blend it out evenly over a set foundation, because that's typically my favorite way to use a cream blush, is like that. After the fact, I thought the blush looked really pretty, but I'm a little hesitant to use it now because it is right where I put the blush. I was getting those little like mini blemishes, and I was like, oh no. So I'm again a little hesitant to use this again as a blush, but I did use the shade Coquette, which is this one right here, on my lips, and the color is absolutely gorgeous as a lipstick. I love it. It's super high shine. I did have to work a little bit to kind of get it evenly on the lips. It feels really comfortable. It looks really pretty. Again, it is a thicker formula and it's very opaque. So I'm getting like that inner rim situation of gathered product. I haven't used every single shade as a lip product. I've just used the shade Coquette, so I'm not sure if every single one will do that, but I just wanted to note that it does gather on the inner portion of my lips, this Coquette shade. But the color, again, it's what I have on my lips. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So that's kind of my opinion on the formula and how I've used them thus far. But let me give you some swatches here. Yeah, these are like really thick and really tacky, where the Patrick Ta ones aren't. They don't feel this thick and this creamy, I guess. So yeah, I liken them much closer to a lipstick formulation than I do kind of a blush formulation. But you can just see, like, look at how opaque that is. The color's stunning. Tomorrow I'm going to wear this orange shade. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it, and this one's more like a cream, but this one's got a shimmer. It's the only one out of the 4 that has a little bit of a shimmer in it, is this shade Sweet Cheeks right here. But those are the 4 shades right there. And yeah, they're pretty tacky. They feel like lipsticks is what they feel like. But anyway, that is the Danessa Myricks Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette in the Do It Flirty right there. Next up, I placed an order on Amazon. I actually went in to buy some granola that I couldn't find on like Target.com that would ship, so I got it on Amazon, and I threw this blush in there because I knew this was a Baked Gelée formulation and the color looked super pretty. I kind of wish for all of them, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the one. So this is from House Laboratories. It's from the Casa Gaga collection, the Italian Glam collection. The Tutti Gel Powder All Over Rouge. So I got the shade Rossini right here, and there is a total 0.12 ounces of product, and this guy here, Baked Gelée, is made in Italy. So that's the box packaging, and then here is the actual packaging right here. It's smaller than I thought it was going to be, but that's fine because I think there's a decent amount of product in here, and I don't mind that it's a compact kind of package. But I was thinking, I don't know because I don't have any of the Hermes blushes, but this packaging looked really similar to the Hermes blushes. It's got that kind of little oval opening and stuff like that. I'm tempted to get an Hermes blush and something from Hermes. I think it's their spring or summer collection. There's a lipstick shade. I might actually go ahead and get finally one of the Hermes lipsticks. But the blushes just... they just looked really, really boring. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that. Anyway, this packaging looks like those blushes. So here is the shade Rossini right here. It's like a coral pink. And this one here, it is a baked gelée. This one is quite stiff until you like work into it. Like with a brush, you're gonna need one that's a little bit more dense and a little bit more stiff to kind of pick up the product. So I did use I used a Chikuhodo angled brush that was quite dense, and I had to go back into the blush quite a few times to get it to pick up. So I'm gonna find another brush that I have that is even more firm than the one that I was using, because it's a little bit stiff in there. Granted, that's kind of the nature of baked gelée products, but this one's just a little bit more so than some others that I've tried. So it's really geléed in there. The color's beautiful though. This is like such a pretty summer color. And I'm tempted to get one of her eyeshadow palettes too, but I have just been, I've been disappointed. Her newest one looks super pretty though. I don't know. I've purchased some House Labs on and off here and there, and nothing has really just grabbed me where like I've loved it, and that's what I want. I want to just love a House Laboratories product. So I don't know, I might pick up the shadow palette, I might not, but this is a really pretty color. It's baked gelée. It looks stunning on the skin. It's just a matter of, you know, using a nice dense brush to get it picked up. But that is the Rossini Tutti Gel Powder from House Laboratories right there. It does have a magnetic closure. I like the sleek packaging. And then I got a couple things at Ulta. I saw this Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara in Cosmic Black, $7.99, and this is one of my favorite mascaras, the Sky High. So I felt the need to try it, and I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, what if they made the brush not so flexible? Which is like, that's a reach, Tara. They didn't. It's still a flexible brush, but I was trying to wonder what was so special about the Cosmic Black. And the formulation works just like the other Sky High mascara that I absolutely love and been through several tubes. This one comes in a black packaging. I've got it on my lashes today with the Allure Splendor Foam Ink eyelashes, the false lashes. And it lengthened and volumized, and it was nice and rich and stuff like that. It feels very similar to the original. Like, I can't exactly pinpoint a difference between the two. The wands are the same and all of that. So I'm just going to swatch the Blackest Black in the original for you guys on top here. And then I'm going to swatch the Cosmic Black. I think the packaging is really pretty like this. It's kind of got a little bit of stars on there. I was thinking maybe there's a little bit of a shimmer in the formula, but there isn't. I don't know what the difference is between the two, to be honest with you. Oh, let me get a little more. But I do like the black packaging. It's always fun to spice it up with a little bit different packaging, I guess. But there's the Cosmic Black. And there's the original in Blackest Black. I don't know. I don't see a difference in terms like of finish or anything. Anyway, I picked it up. It's, for me, it's the same as the original. So, and that's the Blackest Black versus the Cosmic Black right there. Anyway, it's still one of my favorite mascaras. The Sky High is just lovely. It doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, it gives nice length, and it gives lovely volume, and I love that mascara. So if you love it too and you want some fun black and pink packaging, I guess go ahead and get the Cosmic Black version. I also got another shade of the Colorstay Skin Awaken Caffeine and Vitamin C 24-hour 5-in-1 concealer. I originally purchased the 002 shade in Universal Brightener, which is this really pretty pink, and I can make this work by itself. It's going to work better for me kind of in the summertime, but it's a little bit deeper, so I wanted to get a kind of a more skin tone shade that would brighten up this color. So I've actually got a mixture of these two underneath my eyes today, and this concealer is really, really nice. Between this one and the new NYX Serum Concealer that I got, I mean, amazing concealers from the drugstore. They're really, really thin. They blend out nicely. They don't feel heavy. They don't feel dry. dry. I would not call them a full coverage concealer though, so if you're looking for something with some, you know, heavy duty coverage, these probably aren't it. But for a nice under eye concealer, I really enjoy these two. So again, I've got them mixed underneath my eyes today. I'm going to swatch 02. The packaging, you squeeze it and it comes out the little puff there, and then when you put the lid back on, it stops it from being able to squeeze the tube so more comes out. Not super crazy about it, but that's what it is. There's a total of 0.27 ounces of product in here, and this is made in the USA. So this is the first one that I bought in 002 Universal Brightener. You can see that like blends right into my skin. And then the other shade that I got is 003 Cool Ivory. And this here, like when I swatch it on my skin tone, there's like nothing cool about it. On my really pink undertone, this like pulls yellow for me. But that's okay because it does brighten up when I mix it with the Universal Pink. I'm trying to avoid having to squeeze out more product because it's kind of hard to gauge how much is going to come out. But let me get some more out of each of these for you guys so you can see them better. So there's the 002 Universal Brightener, and there is the 003 Cool Ivory, which is light enough for me for sure. And I've got it mixed in with the brightener today. So you can see just how like yellow that looks on my skin tone and how much the Universal Brightener with the pink blends into my skin. That's like how pink I am. So, and then if we mix them together, that's what I have under my eyes today. And I think it's a really pretty color for me. And then when I go more into summertime, I can add a little bit more of the Universal Brightener and a little less of this one to kind of, because it will deepen up a little bit like that. But this is such a good drugstore concealer along with that NYX one. So that's the Revlon Color Stay Skin Awaken Caffeine and Vitamin C 24-hour 5-in-1 concealer. I can't vouch for the 24 hours though. I reapplied some of the Danessa Myricks before I started filming, and just from like talking how much I have so far to right now, you can see the line, the gathering of the product. And I've got other lip products that do the same, but this one is quite thick right there, and I'm not nuts about that. So I'm just going to wipe the inside of my lips and then kind of mush it back together there. But also at Ulta, I got the two other Colourpop palettes that I was wishing for, and that is the All Amethyst Pressed Powder Palette. The packaging is super pretty. This is what the box looks like. It mimics the actual packaging. Each shadow in here is 0.3 ounces, and these are the ones with the larger pans. Again, same amount of product as in the smaller pans. They're just a little bit more shallow and larger, which I do like the larger pans. For whatever reason, they're really aesthetically pleasing. But then I think about like their mega kind of palettes and all the little pans that are in there. That's also really aesthetically pleasing. So anyway, this is the All Amethyst palette, and this is what I have on my eyes today. It's a really like murky kind of grungy purples in here. There's some brighter ones too, but the ones that I chose for the look are kind of the grayish purples and the gray that's in here. I love the way that the look turned out. I had seen some not so wonderful reviews on it, but it worked out great for me. I do have a Clinique kind of brow bone shade underneath my brow just to kind of ground the purples a little bit because everything in here is pretty bright. I could have used one of these two shades, but I just wanted to use a matte underneath the brow. I love the shades in here. They're very pretty. So let me go ahead and give you guys some swatches. Again, this is what I have on my eyes today. And these are also magnetized inside the palette, so you can remove them if you would like. Which one was I gonna? Oh, this one here. It's a little bit chunky. It's got a bit of a duochrome to it. This center shade is beautiful. Yeah, I use these two shades kind of through the crease and blend it out with this one, and then I've got a mixture of these two on the inner portion of the lid, this one in the center, and a little bit of this one on the outer portion. Where did I leave off? This color is beautiful too. Oh my gosh, you guys, my dog is totally snoring in the background. And then this last shade, which is like an eggplanty one. So I kind of went for the cooler toned purples in here, but you can warm it up with these two shades right here because there's more warmth in those two, but I use the cooler tone shades in my look today. But I really like this palette. I think it's really pretty. I use it directly over the CoverGirl Olay Simply Ageless in the round compact. That's what I use for an eyeshadow primer, and I don't set my eyeshadow primer. And I have a lot of luck with my drier lids like that with blending out shadows. And somebody had commented, it was a video or two ago, that they also grabbed that CoverGirl and use it as an eyeshadow primer, and they absolutely love it. But I've been using that product for quite a while now, and it's just my favorite primer for my dry lids. It also has SPF in it too. But that's what I used, and I use this directly over that. I don't set it or anything like that. So that there is the Colourpop All Amethyst Pressed Powder Palette right there. I also got the Colourpop by the Rosé Pressed Powder Palette. This guy actually has a dash more product than the other one. It's got 0.32 ounces of product. So one of the shades might be a little bit heavier or something like that, but pretty close to the same amount of product. Box mimics the actual packaging. It is a cardboard as well. No mirror in this one or the amethyst one. That's what the back looks like. But just another really pretty color story in this one. You've got a good array of mattes and shimmers in here as well. I just saw Colourpop's Valentine's Day collection too. So at some point, because I can't help myself, I want to get the eyeshadow palette for sure. The blushes look really pretty, but I saw a whole bunch of those are sold out already. And then this last shade. Really pretty shades in this guy here. It's like a neutral rose with some hint of warm kind of brown oranges in there. So that one there is the By the Rosé Pressed Powder Palette from Colourpop. And then 2 days ago, I did get my Chic Decent order that I placed for a bunch of flower nose kind of repurchases. And then I also kind of dipped into the other brands that they had. I can't tell because the writing on like all the packaging for the most part is in Mandarin, so I can't tell. But I think that they are made in China, Chinese brands. I'm not 100% sure. If anybody knows on the brands that I talk about and you want to leave a comment down below, super appreciate it because I can't read Mandarin. So anyway, I'll start off with the flower nose repurchases. Oh, I just can't help myself. I bought yet another one of the Revelation highlighters from the Pretty Rock Baby collection. It is one of my all-time favorite highlighters. This formulation is none other. It is so, so beautiful on the skin. It's like a cross between a Colourpop Super Shock and a Baked Gelée powder formulation. Sits beautiful on the skin, very, very shiny. So if you don't like a super shiny formula, you won't like this. No visible glitters or like sparkles or anything like that. Just this beautiful high shine sheen. You guys have heard me talk about this many a time. And I want to say that's my third backup of this highlighter. I don't know if it's limited edition or not, but I feel like I can't be without it. I'm hesitant to use my pink one that was limited edition. I do have one backup, but I'm like eating through that really fast, and oh, that's a beautiful color too. But yeah, I think you guys might have seen me swatch this in my last 3 videos. So I'm about a broken record by now, but yeah, this is just stunning. High shine, you buff it out, you can like see your skin through it. They're just absolutely stunning. So I got another one of the Revelation highlighters, and again, their packaging is just none other. And then I got another refill of the moisturizing pressed powder. So there's 7 grams of product in here, and I have got this in one of their compacts with the little bird in there. There's a puff that can sit on the cover right here, but I took mine out because I don't use it. And then you have a baked jelly powder in here. I love this for setting underneath the eyes. It doesn't have that extreme blurring effect that the circus powder has. I have got the circus powder underneath my eyes today. I have tried many a powder in my day, and no powder has ever blurred the way that that flower nose powder has blurred. if any of you guys have purchased that product and have gotten it and used it so far, I would love to know your opinion on it. I got 2 backups of that too. I'll show you that in a minute. But I actually got 3, and I gave 1 to my mom. And she came over here today and she was telling me, oh, I really like my makeup today. I said, did you use that powder? And she said, yeah. And I could tell on her face the blurred spots like underneath her eyes and around her nose and stuff, how smooth it looked. It's just a beautiful product. Anyway, that's what I have underneath my eyes today, is that powder. But this is the other powder that I adore for setting underneath the eyes. It gives just a little bit of brightness compared to the loose Circus powder, but it's beautiful. It's also got this really like blurring smooth finish to it. It's not quite as blurring as the Flower Nose though, but it's still very, very beautiful. So I've got a couple backups of this. I think tomorrow I might actually set my whole face with this powder. I haven't done that yet, but I'm interested to see what it looks like. And then at some point I want to use the Flower Nose Circus powder all over my face too, but I haven't done that yet either. I feel like I'm conserving it. Like I don't want it to ever run out, so I just use it sparingly underneath my eyes and kind of around my nose. Which maybe it's a permanent product, I don't know, but I just don't ever want to be without it at this point until I find something that's similar. But like I said, I have nothing like that powder in my collection. I actually don't have anything in my collection like that pressed one I just showed you either, but I'll just show you. You guys have seen this too. This is the packaging for the Circus powder, and I bought 2 backups of this guy right here. This is the transparent 01 shade. I do have the number 2 shade too, which is in the darker carousel, and this has a little bit of a skin tint to it. This is what the packaging in both of them looks like. There's a puff that sits in the lid. I actually pulled the cap off of there with the screen, so I just dip my powder in the brush. But this one's got a little bit of a skin tone color to it, but underneath the eyes it gives the same effect as the other one. So I just love both of them. I usually go with the translucent. I think that one might have just a teeny bit of brightness compared to this one, but I mean, I can use them both with ease. But anyway, I did get 2 backups of this translucent one right here, and then this is the 02 beige shade. Stunning product. Again, I would love to know if anybody's picked this up and feels this as strongly about it as I do. I also got a new compact in powder from Flower Nose, and this is from their Bacio Bouquet collection. I hope I didn't butcher that, but I got the flamingo pink case, which is so cute. Again, like I got all these things off of Chic Decent, and all these products are really cute, and I have been enjoying them. But still, they don't give me the vibe. The vibe, I don't know what it is. The vibe that I get from Flower Nose is just something to behold. I just love it. So this is the flamingo pink compact right here, and then inside there's a little plastic tray that sits in there, and then there's your puff. And then you buy the powder separately. So I got the 01 light beige shade. So the powder comes in a little sleeve like so, and the compact comes in this box. And there was a really pretty embossing in this powder with some little bears and stuff, but I used this powder today to set my face. This is a more traditional pressed powder compared to the other 2 powders that I showed you guys, but I don't know if I've used a powder that has felt so comfortable on my skin. Like usually I'll use a setting powder and there's a little bit of I don't want to say tightness, but you can tell that you set your face, you know, and then you kind of put some setting spray on it, and then that feeling kind of goes away, or either you wear into your like breakthrough oils through the day situation. But I didn't get that with this one. Like I set my skin, but I didn't feel like I set my skin. I don't know if that makes any sense, but this is the first time that I've used this powder to set my entire face. It is a little bit deeper, and it is the 01 shade. I'm not sure how their numbering kind of works, or if like the number 2 shade could be lighter or not. I'm going to look into that because I do love this powder. It is super silky smooth. I think it looks super beautiful on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't look heavy. It's got just this really creamy, nice texture to it. So this is another powder from Flower Nose that so far I really enjoy. I've had this makeup on my face. It's like, what, 3 o'clock? So I've had it on for, what, 6 hours or so, and I still think it looks great. I have, you know, kind of degreased my T-zone or whatever, but it feels so comfortable on the skin. So again, I got the shade number 1 light beige. This is what the packaging looks like in the pink flamingo. You can pick different colors. And then this is just magnetized inside of the compact, so you can buy refills. And since you can do that, I think that these ones aren't limited edition, and I hope they're not, because they just make some beautiful, beautiful face powders. I think that they're stunning. So, and then the packaging. I mean, really, it's got, you know, it's got texture to it as well, and it's so, so cute. So I'm half tempted. I'm probably going to do it, okay? To get another color of this Baccio Bouquet compact, and then the other shade of the powder that goes in here as well. And then the refills from the other powder that I showed you from this compact, they're the same size. So if you wanted to get like this refill powder, it does fit in the Baccio Bouquet packaging. These are quite large compacts as well, this one especially. So if you wanted to switch them out, the pans are the same size, so you can put them in and switch them and stuff like that. But super, super cute. Just flower nose. Flower, you do know. I should tell you a little bit about my order. I did receive my stuff in 2 packages. It was bubble wrapped really, really well and like super tight in the package. And everything survived except for one product came completely shattered. I wasn't super concerned about it. I'm probably going to email them though. But they did put 3 products that were like, they just threw them in the package. I was like, I didn't order this. I didn't order that. And I was like, oh, they just threw them in the box. Cool. But I only had one casualty out of a very substantial amount of products. Like I ordered a lot of stuff. So I'm like hauling the stuff that I've used already. And then as the weeks go on here, I'm going to use the rest of it, and you'll see that eventually as well. But anyway, this next product is the Hold Live Ice Mist Honey Powder. And so I wanted to try out like more loose powders from the brands on that site to see kind of if any of these ones like compared to the Flower Nose. There's similarities, but they're not quite like the Flower Nose ones. So anyway, this first one is from the brand Hold Live. That's what it looks like right there. 9.4 grams. It does have a little bit of English here. It says, as light as ice mist, it can effectively fix makeup. That's what it says on the back right there. And then this one does come with a little puff as well. I always pull the little puffs out because when I use it, I don't use the puff, so it's just like in the way. And this packaging is a jar packaging, and this kind of reminds me of like the Flower Nose, like the blushes with the unicorn in there. Like maybe this brand was trying to mimic that one. I'm not 100% sure, but I do think the packaging is really pretty on this. And then this one also has that same type of covering, which is super convenient. So the puff does sit in there if you like to keep the puff in there, but it opens up and then there's a screen in there, so you can like dip some in the lid because it's flat, or if you just like a little bit of powder, you can just use the screen that's in there. I don't like the screens as much because I feel like my brush isn't coated evenly, and that like I like have to work it into my brush, and I can't quite do that with the screen. So usually I dip some in the lid, or I just pull the whole screening thing off and just be careful with it. If I travel with it, I'll put it back in. But anyway, this is also a very smooth, silky powder. It does have blurring effect as well. And it looked really pretty. I used it to set my under eyes yesterday. But it didn't quite have that extra oomph that the Flower Nose one does. Again, it is really pretty. It's very silky smooth. It felt nice underneath the eyes and everything like that, but not quite there with the Flower Nose. I will definitely get some use out of it and stuff like that. I actually feel like there's a little bit more of a white base in this one, so it brightened a little bit more underneath the eyes, which I do like, but it was smoothing, but not as smooth as the Flower Nose. So anyway, that's the Hold Live As Light as Ice Mist It Can Effectively Fix Makeup 201 powder right there. I don't know if you can see the unicorn. I also got a lipstick from Allure, which I have heard of this brand, but I've never tried any products from them. And this is the Stay Max lipstick in the shade number 12 Easter Day. So this is the packaging right here. And then here is the bullet packaging. It's a kind of a snap type of lid there, and I love the color of this. It's definitely a silicone based kind of formula, and because the shade is so light with that heavier type of silicone, the lightness in it, it was hard to get the lipstick to look even on my lips when I used it. Like, not patchy, but it's that slippy type of feeling with a light color like this, that it's hard to get it to look even over the lips. And then if you like mush your lips together, you can get little lines and stuff like that in there. I love the color, but I'm not as crazy about the formula. I think that maybe if it wasn't so silicone-y, I think it's trying to be like a matte lipstick formula, but that's the Allure Easter Day lipstick. I love the color, but yeah, I don't know, I'm not nuts about the formulation. I think you might be able to see a little bit in there, even just in the swatch. So it's just a little bit too slippy for a matte light formulation like that. So anyway, I also got this Aroma X22 Light Sensitive Powder, Shining, Charming, Satisfying Heart is what the packaging says. I was kind of trying out different highlighters from different brands on the site again to try to mimic that flower nose formulation from the Pretty Rock Baby highlighters that I love. None of them are like the Pretty Rock Baby flower nose, but this one is kind of a Super Shock powder hybrid, and it is pretty. This is actually the one that I have got on my cheeks today. It's like a golden champagne. This does have some micro glitters in it. After I kind of buffed it on the cheeks, they didn't like adhere super well. There's 5 grams of product in here. This is the shade 302, and the package is just really sleek and slim. It's got like a flower, little embossing in there, so you can like squish this a little bit. So again, like super shocky, powdery type of formulation. And I like this, and I think that it looks really pretty on the cheeks. But this has got a funky smell. Like, think of when you got into your mom's makeup bag and she probably had some old like eyeshadow palettes in there, something from CoverGirl. Like, it's that type of smell, like enhanced a bit. Like, it's kind of strong. So I was a little bit worried when I put it on my cheeks, like, am I going to be smelling this all day? But I don't. I don't smell it on my face or throughout the day or anything. It's just when I like open it up and then smell the product that I can smell that. So just wanted to make note of that. So here is the Light Sensitive Powder 302. Again, this is what I have on my cheeks. There's that flower nose right there. So it's got more yellowness to it. It did go over my dry cheekbones really nice. And yeah, I do like it. It's just got a funny smell. So that is that guy right there. I also got a highlighter from the brand Gogo Tails, and I cannot find the box. So this is the label right there, and then here is the front. It's called Gogo Tails. They make quite a few products on there. So this is 403 Natural Charm 3-Dimensional Shine. This is beautiful. This is comes close. It's got a little bit of a squishy formulation like the Aroma one that I just showed you. Super shocky, a little bit more squishy than the Pretty Rock Baby Flower Nose highlighter, but it's still beautiful. It goes over my drier skin type really well. It's got a super high shine. It looks glossy and glassy on the skin. So that little bit of beige that you see in there is from my highlighter brush. This was actually like a pure kind of white coloring, but it grabbed onto some of that was on my highlighter brush. But this is just a really pretty, it's a white, like high shine, glossy sparkle. I wore this one yesterday and I loved it. It's really, really pretty. So if I end up getting some more Bacio Bouquet powders from Flower Nose, I'm going to check out the other shades that they have in this particular range, because this one is actually my favorite highlighter other than the Flower Nose that I purchased from the brands on that site. So that one there is Gogo Tails 403 Natural Charm with, it says 3-Dimensional Shine. It's just really pretty. It's another one of those ones where you can see your skin through it, but it's got that glossy, like high shine to it. So pretty. And since I've really been into putting brow powder on again and then a brow gel, because I like more dimension and like a deeper brow lately, I did get 2 eyebrow powder palettes. I got one from Judy Doll and another Gogo Tails product. So these are actually really similar in color. From Gogo Tails, I got the Natural Soft Mist Brow Powder in 702. That's the box for this one. The packaging on a lot of this stuff is just really, really cute. None of it quite, again, compares to Flower Nose, but it's still really cute. So this is the little powder compact, and there's a mini drawer that slides out, and you have a spoolie with a little angled brush that's in there. And then here are your 3 brow shades. So I used this one yesterday, and the one that I have on today is the Judy Doll one. But I mixed these 2 shades for kind of the front of the brow, and then this one with a dash of the darker one towards the tail. And it's just a really nice brow powder. They're very soft. They're really finely milled. They have nice pigmentation to them. The packaging is super cute. So this is the one from Gogo Tails in the shade 702 right there. And then here's the Judy Doll 02. Again, these shades are quite similar. This one's got 2 brushes, no spoolie on this guy. So let me turn it this way. And this is what I have in my brows today for brow powder. And then I use the NYX brow gel. What else? These ones here aren't quite as powdery as the Gogo Tails one. Almost not quite putty. Yeah. You know that Rare Beauty little brow compact that has like a putty texture to it? That's kind of like these, except for not quite as putty-like, but this ain't full powder either. I think that's why it's coming off how it is. There's a little dash of puttiness in this formulation. I never swatched this with my fingers. I just went in with a brush when I used it today. So yeah, there is a difference in terms of the formulation. This is definitely more powder. This one's got just a dash of puttiness to it in a powder formulation. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's the Judy Doll one. And let me show them next to each other so you can see kind of the tones between the two, if that's hopefully helpful. So yeah, they're quite similar. Just the formulations are different. And then I did get 2 eyeshadow palettes, but I've only used one so far, so I'll go ahead and show you that one. This is also from the brand Judy Doll, and I originally had, I think, 4 or 5 Judy Doll palettes in my cart, and then I was like, dude, just get 2 to see if you like the formulation. So I just got 2, but this one is the Vincent's Wheatfields 20 Colors Eyeshadow Palette, and so I think it's like trying to, you know, mimic Vincent van Gogh. And the texture on here is actually like the texture of a painting. So like if you were to see a real painting and you felt the texture, and it looks like that too. Like it looks like a painting and it feels like it's actually paint on there, but it's not. So this guy here has got 22 grams of product, and it comes in a sleeve style packaging right there. And I love this color story. It is such a muted, like springy, it's such a pretty color story. That's what really drew me to it. So this is what these shades look like. These shiny shades are similar to those shades you guys hear me talk about a lot, with that kind of little bit of a spongy texture, but a really high shine with not quite as much, I don't want to say pigment, but like more shine with like a little bit of base pigment, if that makes sense. They're really, really pretty on the lid. I wore this yesterday and I absolutely loved the look that came out of it. I will say that the matte shades, I did have to build them up a little bit, but they did build and blend pretty decent. But I got quite a bit of fallout from them, and they're really, really soft powders, so they do kick up quite a bit in the pan. And then I just used the flat shader with those shimmer shades. And then an interesting one, this one here, it's like a mixture of a shimmer with a matte in a speckled formula. I haven't seen a formulation like that before, with that mixture of 2 different finishes with a speckle like that. It's very interesting. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and swatch out this guy. It's a standalone for me. It's got a lovely array of mattes and shimmer shades. And again, I love the color story of it. And the look was like super on par with like what the cover looks like. That's what it turned out like. It was really pretty. You'll see with the swatches that there's definitely kind of a difference in terms of like pigmentation and textures and stuff like that compared to some of, especially like some indie brands out there and stuff. It's just kind of a little bit of a different kind of vibe, but again, I love the look that came out of this palette. I did get a little more fallout than I would have liked, but it brushed off the cheeks okay. These guys. This is the blue that I put in my crease, and it's like a deeper periwinkle with some super fine sparkles and a matte base, but there's not that many sparkles in it. This here is that shade that's like a hybrid shade of mattes and high shine, that speckled one, that's that one. And then this one. I've been having like so much fun trying out these new brands. And the packaging is so cool on a lot of it too. And then these last four. I think I better put them right here. But yeah, it's got a beautiful, like a beautiful color story. So that guy is the Vincent's Wheat Fields from Judy Doll. Right there. And that is the packaging again. They do have names for all of the shadows in English. So that's cool. And that's everything that I have that I purchased. I did place an order on the Mob Beauty website, and it's supposed to be here today. And it was really interesting because I had seen on Instagram that the Mob Beauty was having a sale, and I had seen the brand before and was interested then. So I was like, okay, 20% off, I'm going to place an order. And then like literally 2 days later, I got a notification from Beautylish that they're going to start carrying Mob Beauty. So I thought that was really interesting. But anyway, I did get in one PR package from Supergoop. They reached out to me, and you guys know how I feel about sunscreen. I'm a daily wearer of the sunscreen. But they are now carried at Ulta Beauty. So there was this sticker that was on the packaging, Supergoop X Ulta. And then here is the card that came in the box. So there are 4 sunscreens in here. It says SPF for everyone every single day. There's their #1 bestseller, which it says is 100% invisible. The Mineral Sheer Screen, 100% mineral primer and SPF. And I really love a mineral sunscreen for my face, so that's probably going to be the one that I try out first, at least for my face. And then they have the On The Go SPF highlighter stick, which has got an SPF of 50. I was really excited about that one, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And then the other one is our OG Clean SPF Lotion SPF 50. I was going to swatch all of these and kind of rub them into my hand so we can see if they had a white cast or how they kind of went into the skin, but they're all sealed, and so I don't want to open all of them to kind of prolong their shelf life, but there is an expiration date on the top that's imprinted in each one of these, and I love it when especially skincare products put expiration dates on their products like that. So this is the bottle. It's a 1.5 fluid ounce for the SPF 30 100% mineral sunscreen, and that's the only one that's 100% mineral. And then you've got the SPF 50 everyday lotion with sunflower extract, SPF 50 PA with 4 pluses, water and sweat resistant up to 80 minutes. This is a 2.4 fluid ounce bottle, and this one's got avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, and octocrylene for sunscreen. So this is a chemical one. And then you've got the SPF 40 broad spectrum sunscreen, SPF 40 PA+++. So 3 pluses on this one. 1.7 fluid ounce bottle, sweat and water resistant up to 40 minutes. And this one's got the same sunscreens in here, the avobenzone, homosalate, octisalate, and octocrylene in this one. And then the glow stick. So my plans with this glow stick, I like to have something like this in my bag, and I like to put sunscreens on the back of my hand. I actually keep, which I'll probably keep a bottle of this right by the door when I go outside, especially in the summertime. And every time I go out the door, I put a blob of sunscreen on the back of my hands, and then I run it up my arms if I'm wearing a t-shirt. But I always keep the back of my hands like protected with SPF. So I've gotten some really nice comments from some of you about my hands, but I do try to keep sunscreen on my hands as well. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do with this stick, because it's going to be really convenient while I'm in the vehicle or something, or when I'm driving, to just roll this on the back of my hands, or if I'm out riding. I could even put this like in my pocket or something and like roll it over my hands if it's really hot, or I feel like it sweated off or something. But this one's got avobenzone, octisalate, and octocrylene for sunscreens. And so it's a stick, and I can swatch this one for you guys. There's a little plastic keeper kind of on there, which I'll set right there. And then you've got this balm. Oh, it's very, very creamy. So like if I was to like use this, let's put it in action, right? I'd like take it over the back of my hands like this, put a substantial amount on one hand, because I'm one of those people who don't like to have the feeling of like lotions on the palms of my hands. And then so I'd put a nice amount on there, and then I'd go like this and rub it between my two hands like that, so that I had sunscreen on the back of both of my hands. So that is my plans for that guy. This is just a really convenient on the go type of product for how I like to use sunscreen, especially when I'm on the go or outside riding and stuff like that. So I'm excited about Supergoop at Ulta. You guys know I'm a huge advocate for the sunscreen, but that is the stick. There's a bit of glow there on my hand. I don't see any visible shimmer or anything like that. I think the glow is just coming from the emollients of the product there. So huge thank you to Supergoop for sending those over, and now they're available at Ulta. Ulta is really getting some good brands. I've seen that they got Chanel recently, which is super exciting because I love to burn up my Ulta points. So I'm excited for all the new brands that are coming to Ulta. So anyway, that is everything that I have for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.